I was born in a very, very small rural town in Middle Tennessee, happened to be the home of Minnie Pearl. The whole small town seemed to center around our church. The problem was, we knew the doctrine and the traditions of this church, but we really didn't know God. I think I grew up never really feeling accepted or like anybody really wanted me. Unfortunately, I didn't see much love or kindness. When you're following a legalistic rule system, you're so busy trying to be perfect and do the right thing, which is impossible. I started dating this guy, another elder son, and his goal in life was to make sure I was baptized. So he and my parents nagged me till the time I was 16. I was like, okay, fine. But then I came up out of the water feeling really bad. I knew I'd not done it for the right reason. It was just to get them off my back. And then I went to a Christian college, and there I started dating the dean's son. And he did some preaching, and so he convinced me to marry him. If I'm gonna be a preacher's wife, I should be baptized again. This time, I'll do it for real. But again, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was just doing it because that's what you're supposed to do. The hard thing was that still there were all these, what we call secret sins. When you're a child and you're growing up, you think it's only in your family. And it was like I was playing this part, but I felt like my life was a lie because when I would read the Bible, what I was reading and what our lives were like didn't match up. It damages a child on the inside because what you're seeing and living is two different things. And then as I got older and married into an even more spiritually respected family, you start seeing the secret lives there. You start thinking, something's wrong here. This isn't right. I held people in such high esteem that I thought, well, it must be me, because it surely can't be them. So that's when I started having mental problems, and finally my life was just such a mess. I'd been clinically depressed. My husband had been unfaithful for years, but yet I had to keep living this lie that everything's wonderful, and we're such a prime example. My son was getting older and older, and he knew what was going on. And I thought, I just cannot raise my child like this. Finally, I had to divorce my husband, and that's when it really got hard. So I went to this other church in a different town, and there were some ladies there who were filled with the Spirit. They started talking to me about grace, and I could give you the definition for grace, unmerited favor, but I didn't have a clue what grace was. I didn't have a clue that you could really know God personally. And so one of these kind ladies just one day said, well, Yvonne, would you like to invite Jesus into your heart? And so we prayed the sinner's prayer, and Jesus came into my heart, and then it was like, oh, this is the difference. Not only did God accept me, but He wanted me, that He had chosen me, that He loved me unconditionally. That was just unheard of. And when you've never felt loved, and when you've always felt rejected by parents or husband or whoever, that is just life-changing. My son, he loved the Lord. He just radiated God. Jim met the Lord before I did. When he was 19, he had gone on a rock climbing camping thing, and he did a double backflip off a 6-foot waterfall and didn't survive. God held me. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. And the divorce helped prepare me for that, because by then I knew God. Walking with the Lord, it's like you can go back on your past history. You can look back and you can say, well, God got me through that, and God got me through that, and I know He's going to get me through this. So that by the time you get to the biggies, by the time, like your son dying, it's like God spent my life preparing me. And then I found out that no matter what happens to you, that He has my best interest at heart. And no matter how bad it seems, like going through divorce, that really, instead of letting me down, maybe He was rescuing me. It was just a total paradigm shift. Last summer, 2013, I had the joy and privilege of retiring. I have a niece and nephew here, and they were each expecting a baby. And they said, well, come on down and help us with these children. And I was like, yes, I can be Granny Nanny. I've been in wonderful churches, but there's just something about the Church of the Apostles that is so much patterned to me like by the New Testament church, because the leadership wants to be led by the Lord, and they take things to Him in prayer. The Holy Spirit, the Lord is there, and He meets us there. I think maybe religion and legalism is one of Satan's best tools, because we think we know, and when you think you know the truth, then you're really not open to the truth because you think you already have it. That's the miry clay. You have to get through all of this garbage of what you think you know. The distortion of God in the scriptures has to be kind of cleared out of the way so you can get a clear picture of who He really is. And then when the Holy Spirit's in your life and you really get it, it's so simple. And it's just like a whole new world, and you think, can this be real? It's a whole new identity. I'm a child of God.